Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, 2 lost, 1 missing in barge mishap. Criminal activities filmed on smartphones can be used as evidence. And FEA plans major refurbishment this weekend.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
The bodies of 2 men who went missing at sea have been recovered, with the search for the third person continuing. Police say this follows the sinking of the barge Kaiwai near Mbukama Island in the Yasawa group. It's believed the 2 deceased are foreign nationals who worked for a South Korean organization which operates several businesses in Fiji. There were 12 crew on board, only 9 of whom have survived after swimming to nearby Longana Island. Police continue to search for the third missing person. FBC News understands the barge was carrying equipment and supplies for a popular TV reality show that is currently being shot in Fiji. We now join Maggie Boyle. Maggie, what is the latest development on the case?
Thanks, Jack. So what we've been able to piece together is that the Kauai, which was carrying cargo that included 3 trucks and 200 litres of drums, weighing around 40 tons, went down around 2 this morning. Now, according to eyewitnesses that we spoke to in the nearby island, the weather at the time was windy, quite windy, and the seas were rough. Villagers were able to assist the crew who swam to the nearby village, Longana village that is. Unfortunately, 3 of the 4 passengers didn't make it to shore. 2 of those passengers, we now understand, were South Korean nationals who have died. Their bodies were recovered earlier today. 1 passenger, however, a Fiji national, he remains missing at sea and is feared dead.
Thanks so much for that, Maggie. Fijians can play an important role in assisting the police for solve and narrow down criminal activities through a simple tap on their smartphones. Speaking to FBC News, Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveningilio said footage evidence provided by the public goes a long way in aiding the police identify criminals. Rachel Noth reports.
When robberies, home evasion, muggings and other petty crimes occur around you, be alert and record these incidents on your smartphones, as it can be used as evidence.
We have smartphones. If you have, I know it'll be a spur of the moment thing that happens, you might not have time, but if you have the time, please take photos on your smartphone or even record it, send it to us. It will help us in identifying these things.
Brigadier General Gilio says when videos and pictures are posted online, it makes the public aware of these crimes, but it's also important to inform the force so action can be taken.
We don't have a group here that is focused on going through social media. We don't do that. So you need to inform us. One, that is a positive. As things happen, you post it out. CCTV footage of breaking, it helps people in identifying who the people are.
FBC News spoke to some Fijians in the capital who shared their views on posting videos of criminal activities on social media.
Not that good, it's very bad. It may affect other people's lives. I think it's bad because it invades people's privacy.
I think it's a bad idea because it can cause more trouble and more drama later.
However, the Commissioner says the public must become responsible in their use of social media and refrain from posting sensitive incidents. He adds, depending on the nature of the crime, the public must make a sound decision whether to upload or not. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
The Fiji Electricity Authority will be carrying out major maintenance at its Wailaw power station this long weekend. The FEA says customers may experience intermittent power supply interruptions in the event of a failure of any of their diesel generating sets or other unrelated network issues. Savara Tambor reports.
The FEA says they will be carrying out the critical work of replacing a main inlet valve at its Wailaw power station over the long weekend, as this exercise is time-consuming and the electricity demand will be lower than on a normal working day.
To completely wire the new valve and commission will take around 2 weeks. So even after we replace the valve, which will take 3 days, the work will thereafter continue for the next 8 to 10 days to complete the complete control wiring and commissioning of the new main inlet valve. However, by late Monday night or Tuesday morning, we will once again re-energize the Wailoa power station.
Chief Executive Hasmukh Patel says they are mindful of the Dubai Sevens that will be played this weekend and will ensure there are no power disruptions during this period. The authority will rely on its diesel power stations.
The water situation at the Nandarivatu Hydro Dam will have Nandarivatu operational and will evacuate power from Nandarivatu to Vunda in Lotoka to supply all our customers in the Western Division stretching all the way to Rekireki. In addition to the hydropower, we have a number of diesel generation sets in Rekireki, in Vunda, in Nandi, Gelaloa and Sigatoka to meet the demand of our customers.
An engineering team from Europe will help the FEA team carry out the maintenance work. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
There are still some villagers living along the coastal areas who continue to practice illegal fishing methods. The Fisheries Ministry says these methods range from dynamite fishing, use of poisonous chemicals and the use of underwater breathing apparatus. Kelly Badala reports.
The use of banned fishing methods is causing great harm to the marine ecosystem, leading to the extinction of certain fish species and loss of a sustainable fishing ground.
Using prohibited chemicals, for example, genola or some traditional roots, anduva, to actually harvest certain species. The down part or the negative side of this is basically it is not selective when you are using all these poisonous or all these chemicals that actually are used to actually stun fish.
Minister for Fisheries Semi Corella Visau has warned Fijians who will be found practicing illegal fishing methods will be heavily fined.
They still continue to use it because the attraction is always there. If the market is available, people are able to export overseas, then they will continue to try and find a way to be able to go under the radar of the law, to be able to harvest this and sell it to the exporters.
The ministry says they will be conducting more awareness in villages and coastal areas.
We need to stick to the size limits, the set limits, and also the fishing gears that the government actually allows us to use. And also on that, there is huge emphasis on the use of underwater breathing apparatus, scuba or UBA. These are some of the things that is prohibited for fishers to use, but they continue to use this.
Meanwhile, fisheries officials will be out carrying their inspections at the markets as we draw closer to the festive season. This is to ensure that no banned species of fish is on sale. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The lawyer for the former Vice-Chancellor of Fiji National University, Dr. Ganesh Chand, charged with one count of abuse of office by FICAC, has made an application in court to strike out the matter. FICAC has received the affidavit and will be responding to the application by January 15th. It's alleged that Chand, while employed in the public service, abused the authority of his office. It's alleged he approved the payment for overseas medical treatment for the then Education Minister and Chair of the FNU Council, Felipe Mbole, without the Council's approval. The matter has been adjourned to January 22nd. Chand's trial is scheduled to start in July next year. Still to come, lack of resources hinders human rights work. And holiday sales under spotlight. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranalika, au tikongona tauna singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Ya dora chubuni kurnambili, ibora ni batsukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 en seri.
An accident involving 2 employees of a bus company has resulted in the death of a bus checker, while a 37-year-old bus driver from Natawa Tavua is in custody. Police say the bus driver stopped at Waitho along the Kings Road so that the bus checker could pick up a receipt book that flew outside. It is alleged that while he was picking up the book, the driver reversed the bus and ran over him. The bus checker from Nassau Toka Tailevu was rushed to the Corriveau Hospital and pronounced dead on arrival. The road death toll now stands at 61 compared to 50 for the same period last year. Despite the support shown by island countries to improve human rights for people in the Pacific, they will continue to struggle in terms of meeting their targets due to the lack of resources. However, this commitment has been praised. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The Pacific Island countries will continue to work together in making sure human rights are respected and understood.
What are we talking about when we say economic, social, cultural rights? It's about having your right to safe drinking water, having food, having health, having education, having equality of treatment in terms of employment. This is the basic fundamentals of every human being's life.
But it will take time to meet these goals.
We will certainly not achieve this goal over a period of 4 days, but this is the first step and dialogue, which we hope, with support, technical assistance from the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights.
When we talk about rights, they cannot be sort of discussed in some faraway, distant, amorphous sphere where we think it sits separately to mainstream policy making. It is very important for us to understand the application of rights, particularly in this instance we have economic, social and cultural rights, needs to be actually mainstreamed into our policies.
The need for technical support for the Pacific Island countries was highlighted by the Attorney General, who stated it is important when dealing with human rights. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Lifeline Fiji, a suicide prevention agency, says they've recorded an increase in calls over the last 6 months. Lifeline Fiji's Executive Director Archana Mani says they've noticed that a lot of young people and children are growing up without help. This, she says, can worsen situations where some people clearly need help and feel unable to ask for it, despite the available services to assist.
One of the key concerns that we have as an agency is the increase in self-harm behavior in very young children and young people, which seems to be a concern that's been brought to our attention in the recent 6 months in particular.
With the holiday season near, the public must be aware of potential retail rip-offs, such things as tampering with product expiry dates, misleading advertising and selling of damaged goods. This season, the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission will conduct a joint surveillance exercise to safeguard consumers from fraudulent sales. The FCCC says this has been a major issue in previous years and needs to be stopped. Sainiani Boiler reports.
FCCC wants traders to be compliant this festive season, as joint operations will be done to ensure consumers pay for the right product.
In issues such as misleading advertisements have continually been highlighted, and we have tried the approach, and we have always had the approach that we will have an inclusive system where we are going to get cooperation from traders, we are going to work with them and ensure that at the end of the day consumer rights are protected. But in the instance that does not happen, we will not hesitate to take action.
Consumer Council of Fiji Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says this is the time of the year where traders push for expired products to be sold.
We want to assist FCCC, and by finding the breaches in the supermarket would simply mean that consumers will get better products, because we'll be able to identify problems within the supermarket. And I'm also
Kumar has urged consumers to take pictures of his products and send it to the council for investigations. The FCCC has made it clear that the surveillance will not only be limited to supermarkets. The joint surveillance operation will begin next week. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Overseas, and more than 100,000 people have been forced to flee their homes after warnings that Bali's Mount Agung could erupt at any moment. The international airport is closed with thousands of tourists stranded. Ahead in sports with Jamie, Aniga and Orion ready for World Championship, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. FEA staff get international award recognition. And in Growing Fiji, Hexagon Group upgrades its properties. Stay with us.
I'm another Sorbakro of Nayabu Wenibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Business tonight, 5 employees of the Fiji Electricity Authority were awarded the Gold and the Most Productivity Award last month at the Asia Productivity Quality Organization competition in the Philippines. The participants of Team Rayzome competed at an international level. Team leader Rajnil Kumar says this was the first time for a local team to be recognized at an international platform of quality awards. The team participated in the 2015, 2016 and 2017 national competition.
Expectation is that the process change or innovation of pilot projects impact to the productivity of the organization, the nation and to the world that can be benchmarked on the global benchmarking network.
And we now join Rocco from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Let's have a look at our economic calendar today. This morning, the United States released some important statistics. Sale of newly constructed homes surged to a decade high rate of 685,000 units in October. It also released in Texas Manufacturing Outlook Survey for November. The Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas reported that manufacturing increased, however, at a slower rate than during October's post-Hurricane Harvey recovery. Later today, the Bank of England will release the result of its bank stress test, followed by Governor Mark Carney's speech. Tomorrow, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand will also release its financial stability report regarding the soundness and efficiency of the New Zealand financial system. So we'll wait to see how our Kiwi and US dollars trade after these releases. And that's all for now.
Thanks for the update, Rocco. Looking at today's current exchange rates set each morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was up against the US dollar, Australian dollar, the PNG Kina and the euro, but fell slightly against the New Zealand dollar and the other currencies on our list. As for the commodities market, oil prices were down to close at $57.85 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,294 an ounce and silver closed at $17.02 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the public's expectation of hotel standards has increased drastically over the years. One of the oldest local hotel chains, the Hexagon Group of Hotels, is renovating 3 of its hotels: the Grand West Villas, Hexagon International Hotel and Spa, and the Suvamoto Inn. Group Chair Hasif Khan says these 3 hotels are rated 3 to 4 stars and cater to a certain market. He adds upgrading over 200 hotel rooms in the group will see contemporary accommodations at affordable prices.
We gear to local market, business market, and regional market. A lot of it is regional Pacific business. So we always have to be price conscious because a lot of new hotels are coming quite good, much nicer, but higher price. So while we upgrade it, we can't go take it to a level where they will compete with the big boys because we want to be always affordable.
And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. From NRC to Sevens World Series, wait finally over for Ronisal. And Gamel disappointed with Pacific Cup performance. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
After an outstanding season for the Fijian draw in Australia's National Rugby Championship, Eroni Sau now wants to achieve the same with the national sevens team. No stranger to the sevens code, Sau has been attempting to get his break for the last 4 years and is eager to prove himself in Dubai this weekend. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Eroni Sau's determination has finally paid off as he will now represent Fiji in sevens rugby.
It's all about never giving up on what you do best, like playing rugby, and that's a talent what God's give to you. It's a talent, and never giving up on what you do best. It's been years for knocking on these doors.
Coach Gareth Baber says the new players have been impressive during the training sessions, and it's now for action.
You could get a few debutants in there, not for any specific reason that they want to play debutants, but because they're training well and they've been part of what we've done all season and all off-season, and I want to see what they would do when they went to Dubai.
Meanwhile, sevens captain Jerry Tuwai says he has confidence in the players.
He said we will take one game at a time, and for us our main focus right now is against our first pool game. And we'll work from there.
The Fiji Sevens team will open their Dubai Sevens campaign against Russia. Their second match is against Wales, and they face Australia a day later. The tournament begins on Friday. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Under-20 rugby team held Tonga to a 15-all draw in the first round of the 2017 Oceania Rugby Under-20 trophy that was held in Lautoka this afternoon. Fiji scored 2 tries through Apisalome Mbonginrao and Poniani Mbachinu, but they gave away many penalties that enabled the Tongans to gather points. The second and final qualifying match will be held on Saturday. National football coach Christophe Gamel says a lack of preparation was the major reason for the poor performance of local teams at the Pacific Cup in New Zealand. After reviewing their games played last weekend, Gamel is unhappy and says there will be repercussions. Luciana Tangidakimbao with this report.
Football coach Christophe Gamel says the performance displayed by local teams at the Pacific Cup clearly showed the teams were not ready for the tournament.
The guys on the game, 3 teams of Fijian team, Rewa, Lambasa and Nandi are out because they didn't prepare well this competition.
The coach now has second thoughts on releasing national players for district commitments.
That next time I will not release my player. Because if it's to get this kind of result, we don't need it.
Fiji will be fielding a young side during the competition in Port Vila.
After the Estonia game, we will be missing services of a few experienced players such as Zebra Sahib. Due to work commitments, he'll be sitting out.
Fiji's main challenge will be hosts Vanuatu. Vanuatu lost to Estonia earlier by 1-0. Whereas Fiji lost to the same team 2 weeks ago by 2-0. The team will leave for Vanuatu on December 1st. Luciana Tangidakimbao, FBC Sports.
Anaga Narayan will be one of 2 athletes representing Fiji in Korea next month at the World Taekwondo Championships. The young, exuberant black belt is also advocating the benefits of a sport like Taekwondo for young women. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Aneka Narayan believes Taekwondo should not be seen as a sport by women and girls, as it is a great tool for self-defense.
Yeah, Taekwondo helps in self-defense and mostly for girls since there is a lot of rape cases going on. So Taekwondo is a good thing for them to defend themselves.
Narayan says to pioneer Fiji to this event means more than just taking part.
I have been practicing every day, each and every day. I always have to practice and be perfect and all to go to Korea and represent Fiji because it's not an easy job, it's a really tough job.
The 17-year-old's father, Nimesh Narayan, has set a long-term plan for her daughter.
Make a 4th dan, that after 4th dan in Taekwondo, after 4th dan you become a master. So at the moment she is at the 2nd dan, so another 2 dan to go.
The Fiji Taekwondo Association is urging the public to support the 2 participants who are gearing up for the World Championship next month. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Fiji Mbati Centre Aquila Uate has thanked fans for the support after the Rugby League World Cup campaign. Uate, who was in outstanding form at the tournament, says that Mbati played well, but they can still do better. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, do dogs learn while they sleep? Find out after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gagawin na sibale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, the Apple iPhone X is a big hit, and its success seems to be putting pressure on other phone makers to move up their timetables when it comes to their next big product launch. BGR is reporting that both Samsung and LG may launch new top-end phones at the International Consumer Electronics Show in January. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to Weather World. After a decent amount of sunshine, it's raining and it will continue into tomorrow. We'll get to know more in a while. But first, let's check out what the scenario was like around the nation. In the west, spotty showers were experienced with fantastic sunshine. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, a cool and windy day without much interference of sun heat. And up north, a dashing day with lots of sun. Hope your sunscreen is working well for you. At sea, east to southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 3:08 with low tide at 9:21. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:21. For tomorrow, as mentioned earlier, there will be showers bubbling down. Heavy showers are likely. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be the hottest with highs of 31 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, it won't be a dry one. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse tonight, we ask, should there be more awareness on what fish species have been banned?
I agree that more awareness should be done because we don't want to lose our fish.
Yes, more awareness should be done so everyone knows what fish to catch.
I think it should be more awareness and yeah, especially to the villagers, which is due to some of them they does not know some of the fishes which might be poison.
Yes, I think more awareness is needed to inform people about what fish not to catch.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, scientists have measured brain activity in dogs, which they say shows the animals learn while they sleep. The study is part of a broader research to understand how dogs' abilities and memory change with age. The research may have implications for humans. Recapping the main stories, 2 lost, 1 missing in Barge mishap. Criminal activities filmed on smartphones can be used as evidence. And FEA plans major refurbishment this weekend. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, we're asking, should the Fiji Sevens coach bring in overseas players for the World Cup next year? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The beautiful selfie was taken by Charlize with her pet Shaggy in Lambasa. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Sikumena somo tukola untuk tali tak na radio festival kena domivi.
Ya gue agak wasil tali, negara ramai nama mani, nandonga. Gitu tali tak jadi angkat kena sebalik pun nangkutur rongo, baru na radio festival nandomivi.
Na radio festival nandomivi tin honga ni bienen.